Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back. This is Angling 101 and I got a new video here for you guys today. This is going to be my tips on using a jerkbait. So we are mid-January right now. We finally got a little bit of a warm up here and the ice has melted, which is really definitely something that doesn't happen too often here in the Northeast. So I'm going to show you guys some tips for using a jerkbait today. This is a jerkbait right here, as you can see. Now there are different types of jerkbaits. Before we get started, this one right here is a suspending jerkbait, meaning when I throw it out, it'll stay at whatever depth that it's at, and it would take a really long time for it to rise. So there are these types. There's floating jerkbaits. There's a bunch of different types. The floating ones, when you cast them out, they'll float back up to the surface. So today I'm going to be using a suspending jerkbait, but these tips that I have should apply to basically all jerkbaits that are out there, okay? So let me just unhook myself here. Alright, so let's get started. Alright guys, so once you cast your jerkbait out in the water, let's just cast it out here. Now, when you are reeling it in, the important thing to do with jerkbaits is not just to do this and just to reel it in at a consistent rate. That's not how a jerkbait works. The actual name jerkbait indicates that the way you want to use this bait is you cast it out and you have a sort of jerking motion that you apply to it. As you can see, it's kind of like a jerking action here, okay? So that's how you want to use it. You don't want to be reeling it in at a consistent rate. You use it in a sense where you kind of jerk it to the side or snap it to the side, okay? Now, let me just unhook this here. Quick. Come on. Okay, so that's how you want to use it, and some tips that I have for you guys are when you cast it out, what you want to do is you want to make it appear as though it's a real fish. And the reason why I love this bait so much is because you can almost make it look like it's an injured fish that doesn't know what the heck it's doing and thus is easy prey. Alright, so now the way to accomplish this and make it look the most realistic way you can is once you are doing your retrieve, one of the retrieves you can do is you give it a jerk like this, you jerk it like that, maybe like once or twice, and then you just let it sit for a second. And then you reel in a tiny bit of slack, you do it again, and then you just kind of let it sit for a second and then repeat the process. Now, a good way that I've heard this explained is that when you go like this and you jerk it, it can get the fish's attention, but if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you may pass through an area where the fish aren't able to see it. So that waiting period where you use the jerkbait like this and then you stop and you wait is because it's kind of like if you've ever taken something like a yarn or string for a cat and you put it in front of their face or whatever and you move it around and then you stop. They may look away, but once you start doing it again, they look back over and then they're interested. So it's the same kind of thing with fish. You want to continue doing it, and then you may want to wait a minute and then continue to retrieve it. So that's a way to get the fish's attention and to keep their attention even, because once they see it sit still, usually a lot of times that's when they'll strike. So it's important to give it some jerk like this, then just wait a moment, kind of wait for it. If you have a floating one, it's going to start floating up to the surface, which will add some movement effect, which is good. If you have a suspending one, it will just sit there. And then once you've waited for a moment, then you can continue to do your retrieve. So just make sure that you don't do a full reel in like this, that you're giving it jerks to this side. All right, and make sure that when you're snapping it like this, it's also important to try different ways to make it look like the behavior of the prey is, kind of out of control and random. That will help to attract fish, other apex predators and predators. So make sure that when you're reeling in, you're snapping it to different sides. You can even go down a little bit if you want to just bring it forward. Make sure you give some pauses in there. You add some pauses, and then you continue on. Make sure that you don't just reel in like this. You can do that, but that's not how it's meant to be used. So, like I've said before, the reason why it's called a jerkbait is because you're snapping it or jerking it to the side, and that's how it works best. Also, the way that it's designed is that when you snap it to the side, it will move in the flash. As you can see here, when the light hits it, it flashes off of different angles, so it gives it that kind of shiny flash of like a minnow or some other bait fish. Okay, so those are my tips for you guys for using a jerkbait. Just like I said before, those key elements: remember to give it some pause, change up the retrieve a little bit, never just reel in straight. You always want to be snapping it or jerking it to the side like this. You can even do it quick if you want. You can quickly snap to the side, go in different directions, and you guys should be good. So that's all I got for you guys today. Those are my tips. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, definitely leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more content. Right now, I'm kind of having a content drought because it is winter, but I'm hoping to get some ice fishing videos out there soon. So you can subscribe for that if you guys are interested. Check out my other videos. Thank you guys for watching so much. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Have a great day. Peace out, and I'll see you in the next video.